Hey everybody, sorry I was having some technical difficulties, but that's all taken care of. All right, well don't go away just yet. Stay in here. And don't forget to write in the comment sections, but we got some, I have a giveaway that I got permission to give away this is supposed to be a smart scale. Anyways, we're going to be doing a giveaway today for, I guess, a lucky person, right? So please write in the comment sections if you have any questions or anything like that. But we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of pulmonary rehabilitation, of course. And we're going to go over a couple questions and answers and things like that. So just kind of stay tuned for that. Let me just go ahead and I just need it. Like I said, I was having some technical difficulties, but I think I'm pretty good now. Yeah, I think I'm pretty good there. All right. So if you, like I said, if you want to write in the comment section, please go ahead and write in that comment section. I am going to be doing a giveaway. It's a scale. I believe it's a $67 scale. It's a smart scale. It basically tracks your weight. I should have brought the darn thing in. That's what I should have done. But it's a very, very good scale, and I actually have one of them personally for myself. All I really do with it is just measure my weight, But apparently, you can do a lot more stuff. It'll track, weight loss. It'll do some plans for you and things like that. It's just whatever I'm not a big tech savvy person, but that's okay. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started. How's everyone doing today, okay? All right, so today I would like to do a little bit of exercises today, if that's okay with everyone. And today all we're going to need is therapy bands. And if you don't have therapy bands, we can actually just make this really simple. Just any type of free weights. If you have any type of free weights, like soup cans, water bottles, any type of weights up to 5 pounds. So it could use a 1 pound weight, a 2 pound weight, 3, 4, or 5 pound weight. So if you have anything like that, please go ahead and grab those. And we're going to use them just a little bit after we do our stretches, of course. And if you have any comments, questions, or anything like that, please don't hesitate to write in the comment section. I'll be happy to take a look and see basically what's going on. And answer, of course, questions. Hi, Sherry. Yeah, Sherry, just in case you don't, have to put your name in there because your name is already on there on the thing. Just a little FYI, no big deal. Like I said, I was having little technical difficulties, but I'm not having it now, so I think I should be good. It's every time when I think when I rebooted my system, everything went out of whack for a second. But, well, let's go ahead and get started here. And remind you or just mind anybody, if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, please don't hesitate to write in the comment section. I'll be happy to address any questions you may have. The program, of course, that I work in, what color of bands? So remember what I said with weights up to 5 pounds. So nothing heavy, right? And with the bands, I'm not sure which colors are you talking about, because some of the colors. Okay, no problem, Glenda. Hi, Helen. But as far as the colors go, I guess yellow, something that you can move and it's not going to be too crazy heavy. Nothing like I have these weights on here or, something like that, So, you guys, and you're from the UK, Helen? That's awesome. That is fantastic. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started here. Like I said, if you have questions or comments, don't hesitate. I'll be happy to read them and also, of course, listen up and. Well, that's not what I'm talking about. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'll read them and answer them. Okay. All right. So, for those that don't know me, my name is Alexander Grichuhin. I am the executive director for Advanced Lung and Heart Disease inside HRN. We are doing free pulmonary rehab on Facebook, YouTube, and a lot of these social medias as a not necessarily a tryout, because a tryout would be, in my opinion, a tryout is where somebody comes in to try out the program through Zoom, and they'll actually they'll actually really get the understanding of why this program in HRN and Mind You Lungs is the most successful. We had a lot of people sign up, which was great and fantastic. They know I'm not going to waste their time at all, but we are here to work, okay? I don't expect anybody to work out at my level, okay? People look at me as a brute. So I don't expect anybody to be at my level. Just, hi Janet. Hey Dana. See, Michelle, hold on one second. When I'm feeling short of breath, it just feels like something is on my chest. O2 is usually 93. Well, oxygen has nothing to do with out of breath. Remember, it's that carbon dioxide, Michelle? So it's the CO2 that's causing that. Excellent, Glenda. So it's the carbon dioxide. I found a patient that, and maybe you guys could kind of understand this. I've worked with a lot of patients. I mean, hundreds, literally hundreds of thousands, not hundreds of patients. I have hundreds of patients a week, but I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of patients. And I've been in the field for quite some time now. So I've developed that experience. I'm 48 years old, and apparently I'm also being awarded again another round by the Maryland Board of Physicians. I think it's the Maryland DC Society of Respiratory Care, the Maryland Board of Physicians, AARC. That's the American Association of Respiratory Care. So they're awarding me again, which is great. That's wonderful. Anyways, not trying to brag or anything like that, but when people come into this program, they see results. And I always want to make sure everyone's improving. No one stays the same. Thank you, Jeanette. Thank you. The awards are great. I just don't really care about them. I don't know why. I just don't. My passion is, as you guys know, is pulmonary rehab. If somebody is not doing it right or they're hurting somebody, of course, I'll do something about that. But if there's a lot of bad programs out there, and I found out there's a lot of really bad virtual programs out there too. And I always just tell my patients, my patients never want to leave me, but I always tell anybody who's interested in joining into a program, do your due diligence, research. Find, ask simple basic questions like, okay, you do pulmonary rehab. What type of breathing exercises do you do? And if they can't give you a straight answer, you walk. That's it. If they can't give you a straight answer, you just walk. Anyways, I have this patient, and like I said, this has happened multiple times, and this might relate to a lot of people in here. So my pulse is 100 and heart rate. My pulse is 100 and heart rate 73 at rest. Okay, Sherry, I'm not sure what you're trying to say. If your pulse rate is 100 and it's 73 at rest, those numbers are variables. They will always fluctuate. They vary. So, it could be 73 right now, but as soon as I move a little bit, maybe it goes up to 74. I don't know, but it's a variable. Okay, that's never one stagnant number. Does everyone here know what the pulse rate ranges are? It's 60 to 100 beats per minute. 60 to 100. So if you're within that, then you got a normal pulse. When somebody exercises, okay, now of course this is based on your maximum heart rate, which is based off of your age. When anybody exercises, they should be, if they're going around 70%, most likely they'll go over 100. Like for me, 70%, that puts me at 138 beats per minute. That means I'm going to get winded. I'll be winded. 138 beats per minute, that's close to 140. You're absolutely right. I will be winded. Okay, but it doesn't mean I'll be out of breath. Anyways, patient I found got out of breath incredibly quick. And I'm not going to mention anybody's names on this, but this patient gets out of breath very, very, very quick. And she was kept boosting up her oxygen a lot. So she was boosting it up from 2 to 5 to 7. And I'm not sure which concentration she has that lets her go up to 7 without. Usually there's a limiter on the ones they send home with people, or a DME company will set some. It'll show like from 0, which is no liter flow at all the way up to 12, but no one can get to past 5. You know, so it limits the amount. Okay, Sherry. Do you want me to do the maximum heart rate yourself? You want me to do it? I can do it. It'll take a little time out of everyone in here, but I can do it. Here, give me a second. Yeah, 67, so 220 minus the 67, that's going to give me 153. 153 is your maximum heart rate based off of that age. To be at 70%, you got to multiply that by 0.7, okay? And that's going to give you 107 beats per minute. So when you're working out, you want to try to stay around there. No, I mean, that's fine. It goes up to 10. Let me finish what I was going to say really quick. So I have a patient recently, not today or anything, but I had a patient that gets out of breath incredibly quick. And it was kind of concerning, but as soon as I saw this person, I kind of knew what was happening, but I didn't want to guess. So finding out that this might relate to, I don't know, maybe about 20% of everyone in here. So let's see if it's relatable. Person gets out of breath very quickly. Feels like every time the person gets up, has no energy at all. Like feels like has no energy. You know, just struggles to get up, to do anything. You know, go to the bathroom, make some food or something like that. You know, gets out of breath incredibly quickly. So the patient was increasing, we'll say her, okay, increasing her oxygen all the way up. Okay, so she was supposed to be on, I believe it was 2 liters of oxygen, and she bumped it up to 4, then 5, and then 6, and then she'll bring it up higher. So she's thinking she's out of breath because she's not checking her pulse ox. She's just symptomatically feeling winded. So she boosts her oxygen up. I'm like, that's the worst thing you could ever do, because it's not your oxygen that you're hungry for. It sounds like it is, but that's actually not what you're hungry for. You're basically wanting to get rid of carbon dioxide. That's the gas, that's the stimulus that causes out of breath. Okay, that's the stimulus that causes out of breath. So when somebody gets winded, okay, their heart rate is high. So carbon dioxide and heart rate or pulse rate work the same with each other. If the CO2 comes up, the pulse rate comes up. Okay? So if the CO2 comes up, pulse rate comes up. But her problem actually wasn't her lungs, actually. No. Guess what it was? They want to give a guess? Remember, I'm doing a giveaway today. Yes, I'm giving a free weight scale out. We can't do the shipping. You're gonna have to pay for the shipping, but at least you wouldn't have to fork up I think it's like $70 for it. You get that for free. Yeah, you just gotta pay for the shipping. That's all. I'm sorry, we don't have the budget to spend money like that. We're just good old-fashioned clinicians. We don't do anything else. Let's see, I have COPD, severe emphysema, and 2 liters of oxygen, also hypoxemia. Well, 2 liters of oxygen means that you would be hypoxic. and that's the reason why you're on oxygen, Millie. Let's see. So when I'm trying to exercise, treadmill or bike, etc., do I increase my oxygen level so it doesn't drop and I get so winded? Michelle, Helen, and Sue, I love the answers there, but I didn't want to make this a whole conversation day. I wanted to do a bit of a workout. But Millie, let me kind of answer your question in a sense, okay? And I hope you guys watched my other videos, because I bring this up often, like very often. Like, it's pretty hard to find a video that I'm in that I don't say something about the oxygen, you know, and somebody gets winded. It's pretty hard because I bring it up very often. Oxygen is dropping doesn't actually cause out of breath. It never has. Never a day in your life, okay? It's just when you look at, let's say you're out of breath and you're just breathing very shallow, let's say, okay? And you're doing everything you can, right? But you're breathing very shallow. So the oxygen comes in, right? And then carbon dioxide is built up from the tissues, right? From the tissues consuming the oxygen. So the out-of-breath sensation is actually caused by the carbon dioxide. If somebody's oxygen is low and somebody assumes, okay, I'm feeling out of breath, okay, I put my pulse ox on, and I'm not saying this, you know, but let's say the person's breathing shallow. They'll see their oxygen is low, and they're like, oh, so I'm out of breath. I look at my oxygen is low. That's the reason why I'm out of breath. I'm associating my out-of-breath feelings, sensations, to that low oxygen reading on that pulse ox. What you're not doing is looking at your heart rate. Okay? Your heart rate. So if I bring up a heart rate, let's say if I have a heart rate of 140 beats per minute, without giving any oxygen, am I going to be winded? Am I going to be out of breath? Most likely, yeah. Nothing to do with oxygen. Now, let's say the oxygen levels drop down 80%. Would you be out of breath? A lot of people would say, oh yeah, I would be out of breath. Every time I see it down there, I'm out of breath. You're not looking at your heart rate. You're looking at your oxygen. It's not the low oxygen that's making you feel winded. The lightheadedness, the dizziness, the blurry vision, that's what's causing it. That's what's causing that feeling of when oxygen drops, you're feeling lightheaded, dizzy, blurry vision. That's what happens. When somebody's winded, it means that their carbon dioxide is building up in their blood. Okay? So that's what you really want to kind of understand that a little bit. And I'd invite anybody here to any of my classes. I really will, you know. So anytime you guys want to, go to the Home Rehab Network webpage. My class times are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Join in for free with me, okay? I can only allow like 1 or 2 sessions, that's it. Okay? But it's on me. Okay? So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, join into one of my classes. Go to the homerehabnetwork.com. Once you open up that web page, let me see if I can show you here. It'll be easier if I just show you here. Let's see if I have this ability here. Yes, I think I do. Okay, so I go to the Home Rehab Network webpage. I click on the Enter Appointment, which is right there. Takes me to this page here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down until I see this Alex guy, that's me right there, on the left side. And just underneath my picture, it says Enter Appointment. So I'm giving you a free pass to enter my class. Okay? I would highly suggest entering in to a Monday class because you'll get a lot of education there. Okay? A lot of my guys, a lot of my patients at first can't walk very far, but they're doing miles. They're going the distance. I mean, we just biked yesterday it was intense. Every person did absolutely wonderful. Their oxygen didn't drop. They knew how to recover. They knew how to breathe with the exercise. I mean, they are really gaining independence. But that's what you want in a program. You want a program that actually works, not a program that just works your upper body and lower body. Your lungs are not located on your legs, and your lungs are not located on your arms. Okay? Your lungs are in here. You got to work those out. So you got to learn how to breathe with an exercise. You also, if your lung volumes aren't good, you got to pick up your volumes. Does that make sense, or is that too much? Okay, now let me get back to this real quick here. So the patient gets out of breath very, very quickly, and it wasn't the CO2. No, and it's okay because you weren't, you weren't there, you didn't see it. But it's actually not the CO2 this time. Guess what the problem was? And you don't have to guess. You don't have to put in an answer there. I'm just going to give you the answer. The problem was she didn't eat enough. Yeah. She was malnourished, did not eat enough. She wasn't consuming enough calories, not enough protein. They're eating very, very, very little, very malnourished. So the person gets so winded so quickly because they has no gas, like no fuel in their body to support them on their small walk or journey or whatever. There's nothing there. So let's say if anybody here has ever fasted, like not, you're trying to clean your body out or something. I'm not saying do that. I'm just bringing this example up. After you've finished fasting, okay, if anybody's ever tried it, you know how it feels like at the end. Okay, you know how it feels. You look great, sure, but I'm saying you know what it feels like. You barely have energy. Okay, your body needs to eat. And if you consume a little bit of food, enough for a small little bird, and you're a human being that's at least 5'5", or something, or 5'2", 5'3", whatever, 5 foot. If you're not consuming enough food, you'll be very winded. You'll be dizzy, lightheaded. Your blood pressures will be all over the place, if not low. If you're not consuming enough nutrients, you're going to hurt yourself in probably the worst way. Oh, well, it's not done on YouTube, D. It's on Zoom. So I'm only doing it on Zoom because I need to be able to see the person. As an executive, as a clinician, as everyone knows me very well, I want you to actually see the difference. I want you to witness what a class with me feels like. And I can't have that just by going on Facebook and YouTube. No offense to them, okay? I need to be able to see those people. So if you enter into Zoom, I'll be able to see you and hear you. And then if I see that your posture's off, or you're breathing like this, and you don't realize one side's moving, the other side's not, then I can say something about that. I can look at your pulse. I can see if you're doing your pulse right. If you're doing your pulse and SpO2 checks, I can check all that stuff. Yes, all virtually. But I mean, I don't want to be blindsided. See, when I do things on YouTube, on Facebook, I keep it very safe. Very safe, When you're with me, I'll know what's happening with you. I won't be blindsided. Okay, you got a bum knee, you got a bad back. You have vertigo issues, okay? And so if I know that information, I know some of your complications, then I can work on those complications, but I need to be able to see you. Well, I'm not on Zoom right now, Sherry. I'm on Facebook right now. Sherry, do you know there's about 100 people and pretty soon about 500 people watching this right now? All I mean by that is that I have to give professional courtesy to everyone here, But I'm not opening up Zoom right now. This is all on Facebook. I can't open up unless I have two systems. I cannot open up to Oh, Leanne, of course you can. Of course you can. I am so out of breath and overweight. Can I do this? I have been so depressed. Leanne, let me work with you. Okay, I'll put a big smile on your face and on your lungs. But if you actually need that help, I'll help you. Don't you worry about that. Okay. Everyone knows me. I'm a really nice guy. Okay, but I do mean business though. Okay, what I mean by that is, if somebody actually legitimately needs my help, which it looks like a lot of people here do, I won't waste your time. If you want results, I will get you results. But I can't be blindsided. I have to know what kind of lung disease you have. Because I might be doing the wrong thing with somebody with the wrong lung disease. I don't want to do that. So the things I do on YouTube and Facebook are nothing really that close to what I do in Zoom. You should see the Zoom. That's why I'm inviting anybody to come in. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you have full autonomy to go to any of the class times. The 9 a.m., this is all Eastern time, by the way. 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., any of those times. Okay, but I don't want to waste your time, because if you're, I want to sound bad at this. I want to make sure I'm clear in what I'm about to say is, oh man, I did not sleep very well last night either. I was working, but anyways, when somebody enters into my program, maybe about 6 out of 10, I would think maybe 6 out of 10 people, I was their last resort, and then when they tried me out and they actually, had me work with them, everybody always said, everybody, I wish I found you sooner. I could not believe I can do this, and I was like, well, of course you can. Why would I give you false hope? So I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that if you're coming in and this is you're hoping this works, I'm not going to let you down. I can't. You're depressed. You're sad. You've kind of almost nearly given up on life because everything your doctor's given you or other people around you put you down maybe. I don't know. But I know what I can do. And everyone that knows me, and a lot of people here that know me, if they did any research on me, know that I'm top level. They call me the best of the best for the reason. But let me show you what I can do. On Facebook and YouTube, I can only do a little bit, but I'm still going to do the free lives. I'll still do them, okay? Today was a little bit late. I apologize because I was having some technical difficulties, but if you actually want that help, I'm allowing you to come into my class. I don't know how many clinicians will ask you to do that, okay? No gamble, no nothing. You're not doing anything besides coming into class. That's it, okay? You're not paying for anything. You're just trying it out. I give anybody here, if you have just 1 hour out of your life to change your life so dramatically, allow me to do that. How many clinicians do you know that fight this hard? Come on. If you know me by now, you know I'm a good guy. But you also know I don't quit. And if I see anybody doing something wrong, I'll have you do it again. If you do it wrong again, I'll have you do it again and again and again. But in my classes, how I work it is, if I see one person making a mistake, I never single out that person. I don't embarrass anybody. Okay? At least I try not to. I don't think I ever have done that. But if I see one person make a mistake, and let's say there was 10 people in there, I just pretend everyone made that mistake until I see the correction. If I see the mistake is happening more often, then I'll pull that person out by just simply calling them or something. They say, hey, can I talk to you? And I'll pull that person out, and that person will work with me one-on-one until I feel that they've got a good handle of it. Some people just need that type of care. They need that help. And that's what I do for a living. That's all I ever do for a living. I burped. Sorry. That's me. I feel like COPD has taken over my life. Leanne, no. It's just a hurdle. I'm still the best. Yeah, well, I'm not sure what makes me the best. Dr. Shaw, Dr. Naveed Shaw said, what makes you one of the best is your therapies are unmatched throughout the world. There's no one that can do or knows anything about your therapies. And the funniest thing is, the therapies, I don't actually make them all up. I actually go to other people that like freestyle divers and that guy, Him Hof, and just looking at things that they do. You know, Boss Rudin, I was looking at some of the things he was doing with his mouth guard trainer. It's a respiratory muscle trainer. And, you know, so I go to different clinicians, different professionals, Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. I mean, heck, you could come in this Friday, but, you know, that's not a bad idea. It's actually not a bad idea. If you want to come in on Friday, which is tomorrow, if you want to come in on Friday, I'll be in the office. If you want to come in on that, no, Leanne, don't be. Gosh, I wish I could. I wish there was a magic wand I can take and just take that away from you. You know that? I really wish. You've, if you feel that your life, and I hate to use this phrase and these words, but if you feel that your life is in hell, why do you want to stay in it? You know, like a lot of people like they come to me, they didn't even realize they can come off oxygen. I was like, that's like we do that all the time, but we don't do it as a. I hope this works. we know what we're doing to do it. You know, I mean, we have Vanderbilt. We have, you know, that Vanderbilt uses us. We have Johns Hopkins that uses us. We have Temple that uses us. You have no idea. We have 2,500 hospitals and facilities and doctors' offices that use us. Come on, there's got to be a reason, especially when they're top level. You know, my alveoli is damaged. Can they be repaired through rehabilitation? So the alveoli, this is how it works. So the alveoli don't necessarily get repaired in a sense where the alveoli are functional. They just get solidified. And then what I do is I improve your lung volumes to get to the areas that are not as damaged. So like, let's say you're breathing, right? And you're having breathing very deep. And the bottom areas of your lungs haven't really opened up. Well, how could the bottoms actually be exposed to smoke inhalation, pollution, household cleaners, dust, pollen, mold, fungi, whatever, and what have you? How could they be exposed to that? How could they be as damaged? They're not. And that's legitimately how it works. So what I do is I just improve the lung volumes first. Once I improve the lung volumes, I improve lung functions. Once I improve the lung functions, then that person might be a little out of shape. Now I got to do endurance training. I got to do physical. I got to do upper body, lower body exercises. But we got to work slowly. Don't overdo it. People that come into the program get out of breath very quickly at first because they just started. So I have to go very light, very easy. And then as we perpetuate and get better and better and better, usually 3 weeks in, oh my goodness. I mean, just talk to anybody in the program. I'll talk to anybody in here that's been in the program. I mean, you just don't know what you're missing out on. Probably the best part of the 2026 of this year. Just you're missing. I mean, you could have your summer that you want, being able to go swimming. You know, let me see if I have that guy. There was this guy who had end-stage cancer, and every doctor gave up on this guy. He came up to me and he said, hold on, let me see here if I can find this. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on just a second. Let me see. Raft. Hold on. Okay, wait. I think I got it. Well, at least I'm in the right spot. Yeah! Oh my gosh, I do have it. This was April 24th, 2023. So not that long ago. And this guy, no kidding, he wanted for at least just one last time because he had terminal cancer. He just wanted to be able to breathe enough to go swimming again. Swimming. Every doctor was like, this is insane. There's no possibility. He has no lung at all. I says, I think I can do it. So I had to work with him. I had to work with him on walking and breathing, everything. I was able to get him off the oxygen. Yes, that happened. You'll see it. I'm going to show you a picture right now. He's in the ocean, okay, on a raft, but there's no concentrator on it. He's off oxygen. And so I got him off oxygen. I was able to get him to go upstairs. He hasn't been able to go upstairs for, I think it was like 6 months. And I did everything in my power to make sure his dream came true. And this is the guy. That's him right there. I swear to you. It was the coolest thing ever. Being able to see somebody who every doctor said there's no possibility. And then the doctors gave me a call. What did you give that person? I was like, nothing. I don't give anybody anything. I don't. I work out with the people. Of course, we get little kits. The kit has like the Delta V, incentive spirometer, pulse oximeter, some therapy bands, and then some booklets. That's the kit, But the doctors thought I found a new medication or something. I said, nope, good old-fashioned exercise. Just done a little bit different, and you'll never find it in a gym. I promise you. Not bad, isn't it? Yeah, the guy was super awesome, and yeah, I know he died, but it's kind of cool that, and I keep people like that on my phone. There's no names on it. It's just I keep them on my phone as a remembrance that, what I do counts, and it actually makes such a big difference in people. And if you guys don't know by now, you guys are my fuel. You give me something crazy saying that you can't walk up stairs, you can't walk more than 200 feet, I'll get you up to a mile. You work with me, you don't quit with me, you don't quit on me, you work with me, I'll get you there, but you'll see results. You're not here to wait a certain amount of time to get those results, like you have to wait months. I'm talking about second week in, you'll feel a difference if you're doing the work. And I mean a big difference. And I'm really passionate what I do. I love what I do. But I don't think this is all you guys want to hear. Okay, so I know you guys are awesome. And yes, I'm proud of myself and stuff like that. But don't forget, I'm your clinician, ain't I? So as your clinician, let's say I am. Okay. I know, isn't it awesome, Chrissy? But as your clinician, then come into my class so I can see what the heck is going on. You'd be amazed at what I can do. And yes, it is remote because you're using Zoom. But if you go into a facility filled with a bunch of other sick people, how do you think that's going to turn out? They said, what is 70? The flu season has gotten really severe this year. They said that it was like somewhere around 68 to 70% of the people that are going into the pharmacies are sick and contagious. Then they were saying that if you try to go to the hospital right now, I guess depends on where you're at, of course. If you try to go to a hospital right now, chances are you're going to have a long line, a very long wait. So it's rough out there, and how hard is it, you think, to catch a virus or a bacteria as long as no one else is around you, but in your own home, doing this remotely? You can't. Okay, that's one of the best benefits here. But the other benefit is I'm remote. The only way people can reach me if I didn't use Zoom is they would have to fly down to Maryland. They would have to go down to Maryland. And it's just not convenient for people. So I made it remote. I made it where I can use Zoom. I have a physical facility, but I use Zoom and I'm able to see hundreds of thousands of people. Can you believe, what we did, what I'm doing, have saved so many lives and have changed the courses of people's diseases, and they just didn't think it was possible because they never heard it from the doctor. I was like, just believe in yourself a little bit, but just put a little trust in me, then let me earn that trust. I know, I surprised myself. I wasn't always like that. I had to do a lot of studying, a lot of studying, to get to this point. But when I first started, I was a very ambitious person. I was learning from every single possibility from anybody that was willing to teach. So I was learning techniques from the wazoo. I mean, you'd just be amazed of how many. Now, because I learned all these techniques, and the chances of somebody coming into my class, I'm not saying anything bad about anybody else, but the chances of somebody coming in my class and getting the results they want, as long as they're realistic, are all the way up to 98%. 98%. You know what the national average is? Do you know? Please look it up. Please look it up. It's 8%. 8. It used to be 11%, and I thought that was horrible. 13%. That's what it was. 13%, and went down. 11 went back up a little bit, and it was fluctuating. We've always been we've been around for 11 years, everyone. This is the anniversary. 11 years we've been around. Time really flies. But let's go ahead and give a giveaway here. Will the class be okay for a beginner? Yes. Remember, I'm starting. Everyone who comes in will go easy. And only stay within your own abilities. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't overdo it. Don't try to push so hard because you really want to hurry up and get better. It takes a little time. Okay? What I mean by that is we're going to start with light weights. We're going to give plenty of breaks. I will give you plenty of breaks. And if I see that, if I'll take a look at your oxygen, I'll take a look at your heart rate, right? But you really have no idea the things that I can do. I would love to show you, Thank you, Patricia. Will the class be okay for beginners? Yes, Chrissy, of course it will. I will never overwork anybody. I will never let anybody regret it. Yes, doctors don't really bother. I'm from Scotland. You're from Scotland? That's awesome. That's awesome. And I had one gentleman from Australia, nicest guy in the world. He was so cool. He was the nicest guy, and he was like, I don't know what you can do for me. I says, oh, I can do a lot for you. And he says, well, let's see what happens. And he was a really awesome guy. I loved his accent. He had the coolest accent in the world. He did not realize the results, and because people think, oh, he'll just teach you a little bit stuff. No, I show you 1,700 different types of exercise and breathing techniques that you could not ever imagine. I just show a pinch of that in here. I've been afraid of joining because I don't want to fail. Pretty stupid. No, D, that's not. Don't. You're not dumb. No one is. Did you know that? I don't have to know somebody to know that answer. You know why? So I'm going to sound gross, okay? We're all adults. I'm going to sound gross. Before you were born, you were what? Just hear me out, okay? Don't be like, oh, just hear me out, okay? So before you were born, let's just say you were a little itty bitty sperm, right? The population could equal the whole population of the whole entire world. Millions upon millions upon millions. And you were one of those, right? Did you know you had to have been the fastest one, the strongest, and the smartest in order to be born? So whether you like it or not, you probably were, well, no, you had to have been. I mean, if you really just think about it for a second, millions, not 10, millions and millions and millions. You had to know where to go and how to get there. You had to beat everybody else. It was survival of the fittest. Over like 400, well, I'll go on average. 400,000 to 400, okay? Let's say 400,000. 400,000 people, let's say, okay? That's average for middle-aged people. So let's say 400,000 little itty-bitty sperms, right? One can only make it while everyone else had to die. 399,999 people had to die because you beat them to the punch. If you could do that then, why can't you do that now? Don't think you're dumb. You're not. But you do. If you keep that in your head, your brain doesn't know the difference. You say that you're stupid, Okay? I hate using that word. I absolutely hate it. You tell yourself that you're dumb or you're stupid or something, your body doesn't know the difference because you're saying this to yourself. It doesn't know the difference. You're not that person. You know, two of the most important days of your life, day you're born, day you find out why. I know my why. I know what I was made to do. You know, I don't know how else to share it. You know, I do what I do and I love what I do. You know, oh, no worries. We're doing a lot of talking. I was trying to get into some exercises here. But I'm going to welcome everyone here to come in. Yeah, no worries. Susan, then come into class and I'll get you up to 2 flights of stairs. I'll show you how to breathe and, everything. Oh, guys, I have to go. I'm so sorry. I have another doctor calling me. I'm so sorry, guys. But it's only a couple minutes. Come into class, okay? Come into class. All right, guys? Come into class. All right? I'll see you guys Friday, Monday.